Hello, let me read The Tale of Two Cities, Chapter 1. Let me take you, Chapter 1. The Tale of Two Cities. The Tale of Two Cities is entitled as, by the author, The Period, Chapter 1, The Period. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom. It was the age of foolishness. It was the epoch of belief. It was the epoch of credulity. It was the season of light. It was the season of darkness. It was the spring of hope. It was the winter of despair. We had everything before us. We had nothing before us. We were all going direct to heaven. We were all going direct to the other way, to hell. In short, the period was so far like the present period that some of its noisiest authorities insisted on its being received for good or for evil in the superlative degree of comparison only. It was the year 1775, 1775. It was a time of unrest, and the masses suffered terribly at the hands of their rulers. The British monarch's fear of revolt plannings in colonies of America had been confirmed, which disturbed them greatly. France, too, was on its way downhill, perhaps even faster. The church and nobles, hand in hand, treated the poor folks atrociously, even. Look, the church and the nobles, hand in hand, treated the poor folks atrociously. Cruel treatment to people formed the chief amusement of people in power. A youth had his hand cut off, his tongue torn out with pincers, and his body burned alive, only for the sake that he had not knelt down in the rain to honor a procession of monks who passed at a distance of some 50 or 60 yards from him. It goes without saying that all these cruelties and injustices were what led to the bloody revolution in the coming time. Though not in the grip of such fanaticism, yet the British could not boast of anything better, as there was scarcely any order or security in civil life. Daring burglaries by armed men and highway robberies took place in the capital every night. Families were publicly told not to go out of town without removing their furniture to warehouses, or they would see any empty house on return. The highwayman in the dark was a city tradesman in the light, and if recognized by a fellow tradesman, would easily shoot to have his way clear. There was a news of mail robbery by 7 gangmen. Though the guard shot the three dead, he was in turn shot by the other 4, after which the mail was robbed. Such were the darings of these highwaymen that the mayor of London himself was stripped of his clothes by one of them in public, while the jailers had to virtually fight to keep the prisoners in control. People engaged in open shootouts, and nobody thought it strange. With the total breakdown of law and order, the hangman, of course, was the busiest person around. His services were in constant demand for hanging some men today, more tomorrow. One day he was hanging a housebreaker, the other day a wretched pilferer who had robbed a farmer's boy of sixpence. All these things, all these things, and 1,000 like them came to pass. But it did not trouble the heart of rulers much. For the juries, too, the chief aim was to settle the cases quickly, then finding the truth, even if it meant lives of men. It cost less work, and so we had the kings with large jaws who sat on the throne complacently. And so we had the kings with large jaws who sat on the throne complacently without injuries for lesser mortals. The year carried the great monarchs, as it did thousands of their puny countrymen, including the creatures who form this story. Thank you for listening.